All right, let's go to this is a piece from Fox News, but it's actually started in and video, Alex Jones. Now, this is a Brit, UK citizen, and what's interesting is he says, I don't believe in this segregation, and he's absolutely right. Listen to this.
Spoke about Winston Churchill, yeah? They all attacked me. They said he's a war criminal. Every side of a fence will have a different view. That statue's not there because of what he said about Indians or what he said about black people.
Now, they talk about Winston Churchill and how instrumental he was in fighting and defeating Hitler, saving England from being destroyed and becoming a German country. White against white.
That statue's there because in our darkest hour, when we lost millions of British men and women, when that happened, he led us. It's there as a symbol of that struggle and fight. And to honour his leadership at that time. Yeah. Now Nelson Mandela, he is a symbol. After 27 years fighting apartheid, he then forgave his white oppressors. Yeah. He's a symbol to everyone in that struggle and that battle and that fight. But he was labelled as a communist terrorist by many governments. He was involved in planting bombs. Whoever you pick fault at, whichever statue you choose, you can find good pros and cons. My mum's Irish. My family could go through British history against the Irish, where the Irish were oppressed. And then what, shall we go start ripping down statues of people who were in charge at that time? Where do you draw the line? That's my point. Where do you draw the line? Because every man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist. So Nelson Mandela, would it be acceptable? No, it wouldn't be acceptable. I don't believe it would be acceptable. I believe that statue doesn't need to be pulled down, okay? But Winston Churchill, it's not acceptable, lads. And black men, here's a picture of a vet. This black vet had come out. Here's another picture. To protect those statues. Now, okay, if you've got an argument about what Winston Churchill said, what about this cenotaph? This cenotaph is in remembrance of all those who died, including the black men from the Commonwealth who fought for our country, including the Sikhs, including all of the non-whites that fought as part of the British, who fought against Hitler, who fought in the world wars. Now, you see the cenotaph? You answer this. Is this acceptable? There's a man. Okay, it's been spray painted BLM on the cenotaph. On the cenotaph. What's the argument with the cenotaph? Okay, that there is to remember everyone. We all have relatives. Our family lines would have died fighting in that war. It's not right. It's not right. And I don't think any of you agree it's right. Well, it's setting fire to the flag on it. What's that got to do with George Floyd's death? What's looting and robbing got to do with George Floyd's death? What's killing more black police officers got to do with George Floyd's death?
All this violence, all this crap, what's it got to do with his death? See, again, these people are being played.
What's smashing up black businesses got to do with George Floyd's death? What have all of these things got to do? So I am feeling frustrated for a week. Least of all without getting nicked because someone spits in my face. And then facing prison again and all these bail conditions, I can't do anything. So I'm frustrated anyway. And yeah, on the video, my head explodes, yeah? It exploded because I watched and I saw and I said, right, we're going to get down there. We need to get down there. And then I've watched it play out. And what's played out is the clip where I say, you're ripping down statues in Bristol. I don't really give a shit about that statue in Bristol, yeah? I didn't know the history of it, didn't even know who it was. I've read the history about the attempts to get a plaque put to identify his involvement in slavery, which has failed and failed and failed and failed and failed. Now, it was all white people who ripped down that statue. I think there's one black person in there. But it was all white people in Bristol that ripped down that statue. Now, I don't really care about that statue, okay? But I do care, and I do get upset, and my head does explode when I see our cenotaphs that represents everyone being graffitied and attacked. And you're being used. Your community's being used. And yeah, I've come out and I've sort of like, the message has gone out basically that I've called it on with Black Lives Matter. Which Black Lives Matter, okay, as an organisation, I've showed you some of the parts of the organisation. It's a Marxist organisation, okay? It's the name that brings it into the total and what they're arguing for. But there's a lot of problems with that organisation, okay? And it looks like I've called it on with the black community. And I haven't, okay? And I wear the hat. I wear the hat. I talk about Islam. Many Muslims don't like it. Many jihadis, there's some in jail doing 30 years who plan to kill me. Yeah? And I wear that hat with a smile. right? Because I believe in that wholeheartedly, yeah? And I don't back down from threats or intimidation, and I actually pride myself in that, because I just go like that to everyone, yeah? I don't really care, right? But I do care, and these last couple of days, I care when my best mates are feeling disappointed. And I want to give them, I hope this shows you what I've watched, because you haven't watched it, and you might not have watched it. You might think, hold on, what's he coming out against us for? Yeah? I'm coming out against the actions that I see, which is race bait in politics, and racism, and extremism, and violence, which has come from United States politics straight into London. And then within a couple of days, we're seeing police officers, yeah? Mate, I've had run-ins with the police my whole life. Yeah? They've hammered me. Right? I haven't got a good word to say about what they've been, the way they've targeted me. The government, I despise them. If you were smashing up Parliament, right? But when I see innocents or war memorials, I get angry. Now I've gone out and called it on, and I'm a stubborn bastard as well, where I don't like backing down. And I don't back down. And I don't like backing down. But you know, I don't want to wear the hat. I'm happy to wear the anti-Islam hat, yeah? I'm happy, right? I'm against Islam. I talk out against it. And I don't care who it upsets, yeah? I'm not happy to wear a hat that makes it seem like I'm against the black community, because I'm totally not. And that's not because of any threats, because I don't give a shit, lads, yeah? It's not because of any threats. It's because, principally, that's not who I am. Now, I hope you understand when you're watching this, and I've said I'm going to be in London to defend the war memorial, yeah? And I have said that in a fit of rage. And the reality being that my presence in London now, and many of the young black lads that are going to go, are going because they think they're defending the black community from people who are coming to attack them, because that's how it's gone out. I've seen how a 20-second clip, people, and hope not hate, the same organisations that I'm saying are using you, are then saying football hooligans plan attacks on the black community. That's not the truth. But I realised that my presence in London would be detrimental to racial tensions. The last thing I want is clashes between members who support me, and there's black people coming. I think we've got black pastors coming with us, yeah, that we did have. I've now sat and watched the way this has played out, and I don't think it's the right move. And I generally don't think it's the right move. And not just don't think it's the right move, I don't want to be responsible for more racial division. Because I can't say you're being used by left-wing politics and left-wing politicians from the Democrat Party to push this agenda, to then be used by the Labour Party to push this agenda, and then me walk straight into it and do the job that they want done, which is cause a massive conflict between whites and non-whites. I don't want to do that, right? So I've made the video. I'm not going to be in London on Saturday, okay? I'm not going to be there. Not because, I don't even know their names, man, all these little rappers and that are fucking putting things up, yeah? Not because of any of that, all right? But lads, I'll tell you why, truthfully. I've been looking at a £100,000 reward, so I appreciate it, because you valued my life worth a lot more than any of the Muslims' prices are put on me. So OBD, is it? Cheers for the upgrade in my price. But generally, and I'm seeing famous rappers and that, do you know the reason why I don't want to go, or why now I make the decision I'm not going, it's because I've got no beef with the black community. I've got a beef with Islam, and I don't try to hide it. I don't try to deny it. I wear it happily. I wear it with pride, actually, for what I stand up in. But the way this has gone, 48 hours, I don't want a clash with the black community over what they see or what they're fighting for, which is real injustice throughout history. But I believe you're being used.
All right, we're going to end it there. They are being used, no two ways about it. This guy has been through a lot of stuff and seen a lot of stuff in the UK and in London. Can't even speak out in some of this stuff. And he's been fighting the oppression of his right to speak out on this stuff. So he's seen a lot. We're being used, no two ways about it.